I've been getting a lot of questions recently about trading, psychology, markets, my personal life, and a lot of other things. So I put them all on the list and I'm going to answer every single one of them today. If you still have questions after this video that I did not answer, please write them in the comments. I divided these questions in 5 groups. First group is strategy, setups, everything that's a bit more trading specific. Second one is risk management specifically. Third one is getting started and like account size and everything like beginner friendly. Fourth one is psychology. And fifth and last one is about my lifestyle, personal life, and everything that revolves around there. There also should be timestamps in this video, so if you ever want to switch subject, just look at the, YouTube timeline. So let's get started. First thing first, how do you know when a stock is ready to break out? It's actually a pretty good question, and I explain that in much more detail, like visual, in other YouTube videos. But if I keep it simple, what I prefer the most is a big prior move, so at least 30% in the last 3 months. It needs to have consolidated for between 3 to 20 days. The longer it is, the better it is. It needs to have strong higher lows and good lower highs as well. Higher lows show strength, lower highs show that it's ready to consolidate, it's tightening towards the end. It's building a wedge. That's actually, a sign that it's getting ready to break out. And if it does break out, usually momentum comes. So that's mainly the broader things I'm looking for. Obviously, there's like market conditions, sector strength that plays into that. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to check that more in details. But yeah, I'd say that's about it. Do you ever trade without a tight consolidation? Yes, tight consolidation is always a plus, don't get me wrong. But if there is a lot of sector strength, if the stock is like leading its sector and it's a strong sector, there's a lot of momentum coming into there, maybe a catalyst, especially catalyst actually. Catalyst can be anything from mergers and acquisitions, overall news, earnings, whatever it is. It's like something that backs up the actual move, like an actual thing that backs up the move. So usually when there's something that revolves around these, yes, I can trade without a tight consolidation. Usually I try to lower my risk though, because it's not a technically perfect setup. How long do you usually hold a swing trade? Pretty good question, pretty commonly asked question as well. It really depends. I would say it really depends on, first of all, market conditions and follow through. I mean, I've been stopped out as fast as like in a couple seconds, and I've held positions as long as like a couple months. So if the stock keeps going up and it never really pulls back or whatever it is, and it just fits my criteria like for multiple weeks, multiple months, I'll hold that through multiple weeks and multiple months. If it completely reverses after a couple days, well, I'll probably just exit the position. And sometimes it goes up, reverses, and stops you out. So I guess it depends, but usually a couple days to a couple weeks, but there's always some exceptions, can be shorter than that or longer than that. What sectors are you focused on right now? So at the time I'm filming this video, I'd say AI, semiconductors, memory chips are still leading the market. By the time I'm posting this video, maybe a week or two from when I'm filming it, maybe it changed a bit, but I'd say as of right now, AI, semiconductors, memory chips, and I guess maybe everything tech related or ish, but it's showing some more and more weakness recently. So I guess maybe we see a sector rotation coming soon. Getting into the risk management section now, how much do you actually risk per trade? I don't have a strict amount money-wise, but I have a strict percentage that I'm always risking. It's anywhere from a full percent through maybe a quarter% of your account size. And what I mean by that is if you have a $10,000 account, 1% is $100. If you have an $11,000 account, 1% is $110. As for me deciding between a quarter%, half%, or a full percent, really depends on sector strength, overall market conditions, and actual setup. If the setup is good, the better setup it is. Like if everything aligns, this is something I could risk 1% on that trade, but never more than 1%. What do you do if a stock gaps against your stop loss overnight? It's actually a really good question. It doesn't really happen often, maybe a couple times a year, but it's something you should know about, especially if you swing trade and you have that overnight risk. It really does happen. It's unfortunate when it does, but it's a part of the game. It's a part of the risk of being a swing trader. And there's not much more to do than just accept it and sell your position at a bigger loss that you anticipated as soon as the market opened, basically. I never sell my position after or early hours. I wait until the market opens and I sell the full position if my broker did not do it like right away by itself. So what I would say is like just take the loss. That's unfortunate. It does happen. A good thing you can do to try to prevent from that is never hold through earnings. Earnings have these big, gap ups and downs. So if you see earnings coming from, just either exit the full position or maybe only keep a small portion of your position so you don't like get completely wiped out of it. How do you decide position size on high conviction setups? I already talked about that a bit, but yeah, I'd say overall market conditions, if it's a bull run, everything's going up, well, I'll probably risk a bit more. Like I said, never more than 1%. Always look for leading sectors, and within these sectors, I'm looking for leading stocks. So if everything aligns, well, I'll probably risk a full percent on that name. If not, I guess I'll play a bit, but usually between, in great market conditions, between a half and 1 full% every single time. In a bit worse of market conditions or a bit worse setup, random sector, whatever it is, might go down to a 1/4% of my account. Do we ever risk more than 1% on a trade? Right now, no. It's been at least 2 years since I never risk more than 1% of my account. But when I started trading, I had a much smaller account, so I could risk, like, for example, 2, maybe 3% at sometimes. I don't recommend it because the fluctuations on your account are much bigger. But if you want to be aggressive, depending on your strategy, it might actually work. Based on my strategy, technically it's still profitable up to like 2 to 3% account risk per trade, but it's just that the drawdowns, if you get into a big drawdown, are so much bigger. And I don't actually think a lot of traders will be able to like just go through that and not care about it. So that's, in my opinion, you better risk less and actually be emotionally free from your account drawdowns than risk more and try to make more and like getting completely like drained mentally or something. Now into the more beginner friendly section. What's the minimum amount you would recommend starting with? It's actually a good question that I get like so often. There's really not any amount. Like, you don't need to start with like $10,000. You can literally start with any amount of money you have. Obviously, the more money you have, the better it is. The more money you will make. That's usually how it goes in percentages. But I recommend, for like smoother executions, I recommend at least $1,000 to $5,000. And the reason behind it is actually pretty simple. If you can buy a stock, but you can only buy like 1 or 2 shares, if you're supposed to trim or to sell like 10 to 20% of your position, if you only have 1 share, it's getting harder to sell like 10 to 20% of your position. You can, like on some brokers, you can sell fractional shares, which is actually a good thing. On my broker, I actually can, but I know that some broker might not offer it. So yeah, if you only have 1 share, it's harder to trade, but you can still do it. But yeah, I recommend for like smoother execution, at least $1,000 to $5,000. If you want to trade with a margin account and avoid PTD rule, it starts at $25,000, but I recommend at least $30,000 because if you go on a small drawdown, well, you get under that $25,000 line right away. So that's what I say, but you can literally start with $100 and work your way from it and keep money, keep putting money into it as to keep growing your account. That's literally possible. Can you swing trade with a small account? Yeah, I just said that, but yeah, absolutely. You can start with like $50, $100. Obviously, these will be very small positions, and you probably will not be able to enter a lot of positions because some positions and some stocks actually cost more than like $50 to $100. But if you just start with what you have and keep working a job or keep getting income and keep funding your account until eventually it grows and you actually learn the skill in real time as well, that's a good way to start. That's a good way to do it. What broker do you actually use? Right now I'm using 2 brokers. My trading broker is Wealthsimple. Wealthsimple is a Canadian platform. I don't think it's available outside of Canada, but that's what I've been using for the past year or 2. I also use Interactive Brokers for my longer term portfolio, my investment portfolio. I used to trade with Interactive Broker and I switched to Wealthsimple like I said a year or 2 ago. It's going all right. It's it's a pretty good platform. Like every broker that has pros and cons. I did use TradeZero and Webull before as well for a shorter period of time, and right now, I'm pretty happy with my platform as of right now. But if you're international, I recommend Interactive Broker. I think it works from like literally anywhere. If you're in the US, Robinhood, I know it's good. Webull is alright, and then there's also another one, which is, I don't remember, but Robinhood is good. Webull is good as well. And yeah, there's probably a lot of other ones. But how long did it take you to become consistently profitable? Consistently profitable is a hard thing to answer because you don't have to define consistency. But let's say being constantly profitable day over day, I'm not profitable every day. Like I have some green days, I have some red days. Same for weeks. I have some red weeks from time to time, even months actually. A couple months out of a year I might be red. So constantly profitable, like day over day, week over week, or month over month. I would not say I'm consistently profitable, like even up to month over month, year over year. So I would say on a yearly basis, starting from year 2. My first year I was green. I made money in my first year. Obviously I lost some money before, made some money back after, whatever it is. But basically, yeah, I beat the market first year, I beat the market second year. So I would say based on year 2, year over year, I was consistently profitable, if that makes sense. Obviously I'm much better now than I was before. But that's what I would say. Consistently profitable is really depend, in my opinion, on like the actual timeline or I guess time period that you base it off. But as a swing trader, I think the important part is to constantly beat the market as much as possible over a yearly time period. So that's what I'm doing. So I would say starting from year 2, I was consistently profitable. Getting into the psychology part now, how do you deal with FOMO, fear of missing out, when you miss a breakout? Actually don't deal with FOMO because I don't have FOMO. I used to have it, and I guess a couple years ago I realized that I really don't care if I miss something because, I learned to be patient. I think patience is like 90% of like dealing with fear of missing out. But what I used to tell myself and what I still, tell myself right now is that there's literally endless opportunities in market. If you miss something today, you'll probably have something tomorrow, next week, next month, whatever it is. So I really don't care about missing something because I know that, yes, I'm patient. Yes, I might not be a part of that move, but I'll probably be a part of the next one. And there will be a lot, like literally endless other opportunities in the market. That's usually what I tell myself. And, I've learned to accept it. I've learned to be patient in the market. As a swing trader, it's probably one of the most important things you can actually do and develop. What do you do after a losing streak? Nothing. I actually do nothing. I don't change my strategies. The worst thing to do is to change your strategy after a losing streak. What I might do during the losing streak, or depending on the broader market condition as well, is maybe adjust my risk or maybe take a bit less trades. But I never like change my strategies. I never stop trading. I never like take a day out. I just still show up every day, do my process because I know that it happens. It's literally like normal to have losing streaks in the market. You have a certain win rate, and based on statistics, it's totally possible for me to lose, like for example, 3, 4, 5 trades in a row, whatever it is. And I know that if I just keep trading, well, eventually I'll overcome that drawdown and get back to account highs. So that's what I do. How do you stay disciplined when everyone around you is hyping a stock? Pretty good question. I usually don't do nothing as well. It's really hard to explain and to talk about psychology because it's really different for anyone. But when everyone's talking about something, of course I look at it, like I think everyone does. I look at it and I just treat it as a normal name. I just try to not listen to anything that everyone says, and I try to have my own opinion. If it's worth trading, it fits every single one of my criteria. It doesn't really matter if everyone is talking about it or if no one is talking about it. I'll still probably trade that position if it does fit how I'm personally trading. Like I don't care about what other people say, because I still trade within my own strategy and my own rules. So I guess I just try to form my own opinion and like block noise from outside. And last category, lifestyle/personal. Do we trade every single day or take days off? I don't trade every single day, but I show up every single day. That's I think there's a difference here. I don't take trades every single day. So if there's nothing to do, I look at the market, pre-market, I'm looking at the market open, there's nothing to do, or it's a bad market conditions, I don't want to force anything. So there's actually a couple days, like it happens quite often, that I don't take any trade in a single day. So I don't trade, I don't take trades, place orders every single day, but I show up every single day. I live trade every single day. The only reasons why I would not show up or like not go in front of my screens every single day is actually happened twice recently. A couple weeks ago I was on a vacation, so I still live traded every single day while I was on a vacation, but 2 days I had flights in the morning, like around market open, so I could not live trade, but I was still trading off my phone or computer on the airplane. So I still showed up, and I still show up like I can be at an appointment, and I'll still look at the market open if I like really have to be there. And I always plan my day around the market open, around the time that I'm trading, because it's the most important part of my day. It's the part where I want to be as, I guess, performant as I can, and I want to be fresh for the market open. So I always show up, but I don't always trade, if that makes sense. What does your actual daily routine look like? I'll break that down in 2 answers. I'll go trading routine, and I'll go like actual daily routine with my personal life. Trading routine, wake up, breakfast, all of that, and then I guess maybe 30 minutes ish before market opens at around 9 a.m. EST, I open my screens. I look at the overall market. I look if the indexes are up or down. Always look at the indexes first. After about 15-ish minutes before market open, I hop on live trading, start talking with people, start going through my scanners. It takes around 15 to 30 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes sometimes. By looking at the indexes, I usually know if it's going to be a day where we have something to do or not. Pretty simple. I look through my watch list as well, and I usually talk with people and trade. and teach stuff, and I guess look at positions, look at the market until about 10-11 a.m. depending on if there's a lot of things to do or not, or if we have deeper discussions, or if we're just hanging out. Sometimes we just hang out after trading. So I guess for the trading part, trading morning routine, I guess it's about that. I usually end my trading at 10 to 11 a.m. And for my daily routine, like outside of trading, I have a couple things to do. If you guys don't know, I have other businesses. One thing I always do is like film content. I post short forms. I have TikTok, Instagram, and even YouTube Shorts that I post like daily. I post between 5 and 10 a day. I try to do as much as possible while still providing quality. So I do that a lot every day. I also film YouTube videos, so it's part of the content. I still somewhat look at charts, look at the market throughout the day, and post my thoughts and updates about my positions and what's happening in the market on my X account. So I do that. It's all a part of the content. Other than that, I have a clothing brand, which I'll put a link down in the description if you guys want to take a look at that. I keep that really separate from this channel because it's really not trading related at all. It's a clothing brand that I bought into, I think, about a couple months, if not a year ago, with 2 other partners. So I'm into that. It's an industry that I really enjoy. So we have to deal with stuff with that. It's e-commerce as well, and content for that brand as well. And other than that, I guess I really enjoy. I love working a lot. So I write emails, I answer questions in the Discord, I help people with their trading. I have a mentorship, so I work with a lot of traders day to day. And I guess like more personal life, I guess I go to the gym, I do sport. I'm a big sports guy. I don't watch a lot of sport, but I practice a lot of sport. So I run, I play golf, I play tennis. I played competitive tennis for a summer 2 years ago until I hurt my wrist. And I still play from time to time. What do I do after that? I obviously hang out with some friends from time to time, but it's kind of I would say it's a good mix of working and enjoying and having a personal life. So that's usually what I do. And last question for today, did you ever want to quit? Yes, probably way more than I could imagine, probably way more than everyone looking at this could imagine. I wanted to quit so much throughout the first couple years. Multiple reasons, and I'm not just talking about trading, I'm talking about like all this entrepreneurial stuff and trading as well. I always wanted to quit at some point. I think it's really normal, especially when you don't see a lot of growth, or when you thought it was going to happen fast and it takes more time than you imagine. I really wanted to quit, and for some reason I kept going because I think this is all I ever wanted. So if something is all I ever wanted and it ended up taking more time than you could imagine, well, it's a part of the game. You really cannot plan, you really cannot compare yourself to other people, to other people's trajectory or whatever it is. We all have our different pace, we all have our different life, we all starting from a different point. The only thing you could do is control how much you work and the effort you put in my opinion. That's literally the only thing you can do. So stop looking at other people. If somebody's living a dream life after a year, well, happy for them, but maybe it's different for you, maybe it's different for me. Like for me, I'm still very far from where I want to be. So I could quit right now and never achieve the goals I want to achieve, right? But I'm not going to quit because I know that if I just keep going, well, eventually I achieve what I want to achieve. And I think it's the exact same thing. Either it's trading related, just keep going, just keep working. Don't try to not burn out. Like do it at the most important part is to be consistent, but still be it's more important for me to be consistent at a lower, slower pace than to give my all for like a shorter period of time and like burn out and then eventually fall back lower than I was before. So I try to keep everything I do at a pace where I can be consistent while still showing up every day and doing everything I need to do to get closer to my goals every single day. Hopefully that makes sense. Trading related, personal life related, and like business related in general. So these were all the questions I had today. I had a lot of fun filming that actually. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments. I read and respond to every single one of them. I really enjoy doing this. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more videos. Every important link will be in the description. And that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.